For those of you who have an idea of a side hustle and you would like to get started but don't know how, today I'm coming with a few tips and tricks of how to actually validate the idea, make sure that you're solving a problem, do some market research, and also build something very simple, very fast to make sure that you can attract the first early adopters or early users before you launch the massive product that you have in mind. So we're going to be doing this with building a little landing page with Databutton. We're going to be doing some research to validate if there is a problem with Reddit. And then we will do some market research through Perplexity. Okay. So what I would do first is to, once I have the idea and once I know who is the problem, who am I solving the problem to, I'm going to go to Reddit and try to look for a community or a subreddit where I could find people with that pain. In my case, I had a little idea a while ago that was about sail swapping between sailboat owners. So I came across a few different subreddits here, sailboats and a bunch of them. And I would actually type here in a specific keyword like swapping, and you would come up with a bunch of potential conversations. For our case, once we actually found on our chat, I actually chat with someone that wanted to swap their boat from Scotland. So idea validated, I went on to create a little landing page, as you see here, that I built with Databutton. Databutton is like lovable, but you can build like more reliable, solid stuff. For my case, I only got started with the landing page because halfway through it, before I started building the actual product that I wanted to build with Databutton, I did some market research, but we'll get to that a little later. So in Databutton, you just come here to databutton.com, you sign up, and you, with natural language, you can actually drop a little prompt of what you want your website to look like. The more detail that you give, the better. If you have an idea of how the design wants, of how do you want the design to be, maybe go into some other website, take a screenshot, paste it here so that the model knows what to replicate and like to have an idea. So the better the prompt, as always, the better the outcome. So for our case, I built this little landing page with a little form here that you can actually fill and complete and join. See, it's completely working. And then in Databutton, you would have a users and data where you could keep the entire database of the users that subscribe. So once you have built, you can build this in like 15 minutes and use around 15 credits of Databutton. So in the free subscription, you can already validate or create that first landing to validate your idea. Once you have this, it's good to do some market research to make sure that the problem that you're solving and the ICP and to make sure that the ICP is willing to get your solution. Once you do this, you will actually have some more context of if it's worth to move forward or not. When I did my market research, I noticed that sailboat owners don't generally want to swap their boats with a stranger, so the idea wasn't really going any farther. This has been a topic for the past 10 years and nobody has really managed to successfully launch a sail swapping community. So I killed it. Long story short. But this being said, you can actually validate your problem through Reddit. You can build a landing page through Databutton and you can do very good in-depth market research with Perplexity in order to get started. My next step, as I have done in the past, would be to create a little Facebook ads campaign where you just have a very targeted audience of around 2,000 to 5,000 people in which you're going to be displaying an ad of this problem that you're trying to solve with the call to action to actually join the waitlist because you're launching something very cool soon and there are limited spots. And if you manage to make this message resonate through the Facebook ads and 1,000 people see it and you get only like 50 people subscribing to that newsletter, to that waitlist, you already have 50 potential early adopters of your product. That's amazing. That means that the problem that you're trying to solve is actually getting somewhere, right? So this is exactly how I do it step by step. If you like this content, please follow me both on YouTube and LinkedIn for more. See you next one.